And welcome back to Gabriel Knight 3. No, Gabriel Knight Part 3. That's what I was trying to say. No, this is still the first game.
Doesn't.
Yep.
Oh, god damn it.
The suit does.
What? I keep clicking the suit and not the door.
I would do the same.
God damn it. That just brings my piss to a boil when it's like that precise. Pixel precision.
Yeah. The art of clicking on one pixel.
Yeah. Okay. And now that we have...
The doorknob doesn't open.
Okay,
You
this
wanna
is fucking
activate-
smart ass. Well,
Gabriel.
Activate the knocker in the middle.
yeah.
It's a brass door knocker.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
brass knocker.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's actually adventure game.
May I help?
Oh, there he is, Tim Curry as the butler.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay.
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official
Oh yeah, that is
business,
such a
cannot
classic,
announce
the
you.
Tim Curry voice. I do have official
I
business.
do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
Alright, let's see. And then we use the badge.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really?
Oh man, I wish you
I
could
can
hear
trust
that. My
Look
name is
here.
Detective
I'll
Moonley.
inform Ms. Getty.
Yeah, I know. I've played it, and this is actually when I think about it. In the third one, you gotta pose as Mosley
Yeah, you
again.
steal his fucking passport.
Yeah. It's actually more involved because you gotta
Yes,
dress
you have
up
to make
like
up the
him.
fucking costume for
Getty
it.
will be down shortly.
Oh my god, I love that. My favorite part is the way you make the mustache.
I mean, that's the thing is, I thought that was kind of mean because like Mosley will not probably appreciate it, but that's how Gabriel is. There we go.
Yeah, that is like such an adventure game thing. Like that's something like that you would totally never. It would totally never work in real life. But it's
That
just-
would like end friendships right there. That might even sue you or something.
Oh yeah. But also like fucking make
I
a
assume that's
mustache
what
out of cat hair. Put on a fake accent and a baseball cap.
Oh my god, the cat hair thing. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
that-
like
that's the
nasty.
Yeah.
Like you
Tell
put
me about
some
your
stray cat's hair on your lip. That's
Yeah.
Don't
nasty.
really have a choice.
And it's like,
What
you
do
know,
you wanna
fucking
know,
you have to
detective?
pick up the syrup at the dining room and smear that as well so it will stick.
Oh my god, that's like, what the hell?
What kind of thing?
Yeah.
Only in adventure
I
games.
don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony,
MacGyver to
ballet,
shame.
fine art.
Yeah.
That's
If
it.
you look
Why?
around,
I mean,
you'll see that
I've
we
seen
have
there's
African art, for example.
Yes.
like
Yet
some-
another
very
adventure
beautiful.
game, budding adventure
It
game
is,
idea,
detective.
MacGyver.
It means
yeah,
a great
that-
deal to me.
why hasn't
Ah
that?
man, we really missed
Oh,
that
although the-
train.
Do you have a career?
Although the puzzles would be like
Career.
extremely convoluted.
Being the head
Oh, yeah.
of the
But
Getty
it would be-
family is
that
a
would totally work,
24-hour
though.
a day job.
I mean, there are
You
so
have
many
many
adventure games where you have to be
holdings and
basically
many
MacGyver anyway, so
responsibilities.
because you have to combine such.
But you gotta
Management
get
of our
Richard Dean
business
Anderson
affairs
to
and
voice him.
properties leaves
That's the
with
Seriously.
name.
time
Yeah,
for
I keep
little
forgetting.
else.
I know it's Anderson
Poor
with
little
something,
rich
but
girl.
Richard
He's,
Dean.
Believe it or not,
He was also in
detective,
Stargate.
wealth
He was the,
does
Oh yeah, I
come
know
with
Stargate.
price.
I know him more from Stargate actually than MacGyver because MacGyver was a little too early for me.
Yeah. I grew up with. I would watch
Getty's?
Next Generation and then I would
We're
watch
very
MacGyver.
private.
It was
How many
on the
people
same
are there
time
in
in
your
Germany on TV.
Well,
Yeah, I
my
used to
mother
watch.
just passed
That's so
away.
weird. Like I used to watch
I'm
when it used to be
sorry.
on TV. Like I used to
So
watch
am I.
Stargate all the time,
She
and
was a
now
magnificent woman.
it's
We
been
were
literally
very close.
years, like
I was
maybe
an only
over 10
child.
years since the last time I
And your
actually even
father?
watched an episode of
I never knew
Stargate.
him.
I watched like
It's hard
episodes
to
here and
believe
there, but I
that
never
you
watched
have
from the
people
beginning
like
to end. But I will.
Like your nose must
I'm
have
just
been.
like
He did not.
that's what I've been
leave
doing with
detective.
Netflix in general.
But that's really none of your
Yeah.
concern.
I mean, it's like I don't
I'm
watch
sorry.
TV
Go
a
on.
lot anyway these
There
days
are,
because
of
there's
course,
rarely
other
anything
Gettys
I
in the
want to
city.
watch on.
I have a large
But-
extended family.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
I
Like
see.
that would be weird. Like I wonder if Stargate has aged as well as I would hope. That if I could actually like just jump back in and watch it
Do
again.
you have a husband?
I just had an idea for an
I'm very
adventure game.
independent,
Twilight
Detective.
Zone, the adventure
Women in
game.
my
Wow.
family have always preferred it.
I'm
that
wondering
way.
did they ever do that? But
So,
no, I don't
you've
think they
never
did.
been married.
Yeah, that
They
would-
made
No.
a adventure
I
game
never
based
will.
on
What about children?
Plan 9 from
Yes,
Outer Space,
that
which I
is-
gotta play. I'm not
Someday.
kidding.
Was it a text adventure game or was it a?
It's graphical, but it's like
Wow.
first person. And
Oh yeah, sorry, no. I was thinking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That
I'd
was
like
a
to hear
text
just
adventure
about
game.
anything.
I do a lot of
Yep.
charity
Yeah.
work around the city.
Like
primarily in the
I
prison
haven't
and
played a lot
reform
of text
system.
adventure games, but I know a
I'm not a
bunch of them
professional
because that was the thing to
sociologist,
do at
but
one point. And
It
like,
does interest me.
wasn't Infocom was like the big one that used to do a lot of those?
yeah, well, I think text adventures are
I'd
just
like to hear
easier
just
to
about
program
anything.
because all you need to do is
I
make
have
a
a
parser
business
system,
degree
and
from
there was
TheHande.
already some
I wanted to
like
study psychology,
programs
but
where
my
you could make your own
family's
text
interests
adventure
came
because all you need
first.
is to do text and
Oh.
then
Yeah, but
branching
Something
paths
along
and
yeah, but
everything.
this was like back in
Surely
the
that would
80s
be
when they were like a
massive to them.
major
Law,
share of the market,
please,
basically.
I do
Yeah,
have
well, that
some
was the
morals
beginning
to
of
protect.
adventure games. It was all text adventures, and then I think one of the first was King's Quest, and
I'd
even
like to
that
hear
was
just
still
about
parser
anything.
system, and that was like the
For the
transition
record,
until it
I'm
became
a
true
great
point and click.
Yeah. Actually, I brought up
I wouldn't know
Infocom
where to
because
begin.
I've recently
As you
reviewed
wish, detective.
Loom, and I watched the post-mortem of that Brian Moriarty, the guy who made the game, made, and I've gotten into that. Actually, like Loom used to be this thing I didn't know like almost anything about, and now I know almost a little too much about it.
Can you tell me anything?
You're like the pirate guy from the Scum Bar. This is
I
the
wish
thing
I
is every
could,
time you
but I've
speak
never
Loom,
seen or heard
I have to
anything
always think
unusual
about the
with
pirate guy. Ask
I
me
do
about
spend
Loom,
quite a bit of
And I
time.
did play. I only played a little bit of Loom, but I did like it a lot. It's actually interesting because here's an interesting factoid, and I think that was also in the English
What can you
release.
tell
I've
me
been
about
talking about German audio plays.
Voodoo?
Jim?
Why
They
do you wanna
released
know about
the
that, detective?
version of
It's rather
Loom with a
silly,
prequel
isn't it?
story for the
There's nothing
game
silly.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
was a
Voodoo movies.
audio play,
Yeah,
and I think
that
it was also in
voodoo is
English
fake.
on
It was.
cassette.
It was.
It was in English as well because that's actually
what papers
Loom when
say,
it came
alright.
out like in
But you're not
1990.
convinced?
No,
it came out the same
frankly,
year
I'm
as
not.
Secret of Monkey Island. Originally
At least
didn't have
about
voice
what isn't
acting.
known for
And-
Yeah.
But
imagination.
that
Oh.
when
Well, I can
later
see that
they
your
reissued it, I guess
imagination
on
is
CD-ROM,
considerable.
that's when they added voice acting, and the voice actors they used were the ones from the audio play. So
What do you know about
Nice,
voodoo?
nice continuity then.
yeah,
The
but I
murders?
only knew that because
Only
I
what I
watched
read
Brian
in the
Moriarty's
papers.
post-mortem because
And
they played a
what
clip
do you
from
read
that
in the papers?
intro or introductory
I'm sure you know much
thing.
more about it than
I thought it was really cool. I always liked audio plays. I mean, they're still big in Germany to this day.
Yeah, I had a couple of people tell me that the version that I played with the voice acting is not the ideal version because they did cut something out. They cut out they had basically kind of like this. They had like the close-ups of the characters' faces when they were talking, and the reason they cut them out was because they couldn't sync up the voice with the mouth animations because they were never intended to be synced up initially.
okay,
But
yeah, exactly,
I don't
yeah.
think you lose anything with that because I think the voice acting just works just as well. And they did have a couple of those close-ups. Like, they weren't all gone, but, like, a vast majority of them got taken out.
Right.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
Sorry,
Spaghetti family
my apologies to
came to
people
New
who
Orleans in
who are listening to this
1800.
riveting
They worked very
conversation.
hard
I'm
to
just
get
waiting
where
for
we
Malia
are.
to kick us out
On the
so
other
we can
hand,
progress
we've
the
done a lot
plot.
for this
Yep,
community.
yep. It's basically
I can
they're
believe it.
talking, and then they're
Doesn't
gonna
work
they're
for
kind
me
of they're
right
they're not
now.
kind of they're actually flirting more or less. And
Okay, let's...
Excuse
there we
me.
go.
Oh, this is the fucking line.
Eyes
Ah, it's
really
really
distracting.
distracting.
I don't think I've ever seen
So
I mean, if you
awesome.
ever said this to a girl, you know what the reaction would probably be. They would just kind of
Yep.
silently walk away like, who the fuck is this creep?
fortune.
Thank you, detective.
Well, but Gabriel
Thank you,
Knight.
detective. That's all
Interesting
she has to say.
observation, though probably
It's an
not relevant
interesting
to your
observation.
case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant. Miss
But the thing about
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
Gabriel Knight, he just
I think this
doesn't
has
give a
gone
fuck
on long
really.
enough.
Okay, now
Not
she got
really.
it. Now she's on to us. Well, she was on to us from the beginning.
Who,
Like,
me?
Yeah, she's not stupid.
yeah.
On this case.
I mean, she's gonna point out.
I saw you at the lake yesterday.
Yeah, to show you at the
I
lake
thought you
yesterday,
must be
fucking
with the police
dumbass.
since you were there, but you don't act like a police
I can
officer.
retain information too.
Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name.
But that's the
was
thing
most.
about Gabriel Knight. He just
Alright,
kind of
you
does
caught me.
stuff, and he
I'm
doesn't
not with
doesn't
the
really
police.
care. He's like,
My name is Gabriel
Yeah.
Knight.
I mean, in the third game, he still like flirts with, the
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can
the
tell me
tourist
real
woman there. Yeah,
reason
she does the tourist things there.
Madeline, yeah, Madeline.
Madeline, yeah.
Dan.
I've seen or
Yeah,
heard something at the lake.
But
I
in
don't
that is more
like
like James
liars,
Bondish. Like
Mr.
like he's just out to get information.
Okay, you're
like,
right.
Here,
I really
like
just
here
wanted
he,
to see you again.
he's like seriously
You can be
obsessed
mad
with
at
this
me if you
woman.
want, but
So,
Yeah, but this
it
is
gets a little creepy.
Never
I think
got
day
anything
3 is when it
before.
really gets creepy.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about
Yeah, but
your
she's
identity
also
and wasted
attracted
my
to
time
him
with
because that's why
meaningless
she's
Oh yeah,
listening
yeah.
to
I'm not
shit,
saying like
so.
there isn't mutual
vaguely
attraction, but
flattering. I'd really be angry.
you do remember
lucky I don't
his
call the
like
real
"Oh baby
police."
please" speech at the
I
graveyard.
think you should go.
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Knight.
yeah. That
Like-
that was a bit weird, but I think it's because he's like there's a specific reason why he's like this, because he's obsessed with her. Because of in the storyline, what happens is that they have this basically this spiritual connection from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
past
because-
lives and stuff.
Show
Yeah.
Mr.
Hey,
Knight.
So-
mom, great grandpappy killed your great
Because
grandmama.
I think he's more smoother with most women, but it's like because
Thank you very much.
there's more than a normal connection between them, so
Yeah.
that's why he then seems like desperately, and it's like creepy because that was intentional, I believe.
Oh,
If it worked well or not, that's another question. But
yeah, that's the thing about this game. I think it's actually kind of, and you know, not that this was like controversial anymore around this time, but you think about it, like, and I don't like this word at all, like, but it's an interracial relationship in an adventure game,
I knew you'd miss
and
me.
like I
So
said,
I
this is
came
more for a
back.
more mature audience and everything, so it's okay, but it was kind of, even for the 90s, it was kind of really forward thinking of Sierra to
Definitely, yeah.
do that.
definitely progressive, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but and
Do you know anything
that's
about
the reason
these?
why I kind of wish
No,
it would have been
sorry.
handled a little bit better, because it gets a little, you know, like I said, it gets a little, you know, creepy when
Got a minute,
Gabriel's
Grace?
making his little love confession
What's
at
up?
the graveyard, like, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
but,
I
it's
kinda
because-
it just feels like it comes from like a pulp romance novel a little bit, and I wish they would have handled it a little better, honestly.
Yeah, but that's the thing about
some research,
you know,
you know.
not everything can be
Sure,
good,
yeah.
honestly. Like, and honestly, a lot of games are mostly also
Okay.
inspired by like pulp novels and stories.
Oh, you know,
Although-
what? now we'll finally get to talk to friggin' Michael Dorn. Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
See you later.
Good luck.
My favorite comment is when she says, you know, I wish you wouldn't wear this jacket in June because I can smell you from here. That's my favorite comment because
Oh yeah. I mean, they
Like-
have great things they say to each other all the time.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Welcome,
Uh,
my friend.
Hello.
I am the proprietor.
This is this
Dr.
kind of
John.
thing where, again,
If
I
you
said
have
this
any
again, but
questions, I will
adventure games could be movies, could be TV series, you know, like
They,
because there's so much story and
Oh
plot.
yeah. That's actually we had a little we talk about this with Kaiser on the other Let's Plays, that the thing that I feel, especially when I watch Gabriel Knight 2, is like, man, this would have made like an awesome
ask
like
you
a supernatural TV show.
That is
So-
why.
It felt like it too,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it because I've been watching Supernatural and I'm like, well, you know, this could have been also done in the 90s because I mean X-Files was big, maybe a little bit more with focus on magic and stuff, because the supernatural elements of the game,
what do you know about
it only appears late usually in the game, and they're not as like in your face right away. Like I really liked how they did the werewolves in the second game.
Oh yeah. That's also right. That's the thing. Like when I played the first Gabriel Knight and started playing, like I knew it was an adventure game, and it was in 3D. So that's pretty much all the things I knew about it. Like I didn't have any idea. And then I realized, like, holy shit! Like I'm looking for a kidnapped baby. Like okay, this is getting intense. But it was still like fairly serious and realistic up to that point. And then when it gets later in the game and more weird supernatural shit
Yes.
starts to hit you, so you start to feel like, oh man, I
What
wasn't
is it you
expecting
wish
this.
to learn?
Like it's
It's-
like getting more and more interesting.
It feels like kind of like Call of
Why
Cthulhu
would you
kind of
implement
storylines where there's the supernatural, but it's right out of the it's like it's always out of the sight for most of the time, and when you do see it, it's like almost too late, because like you do a lot of investigating before there's any supernatural things going on, you know, and
Yeah.
even then more minor things like the little voodoo spells and things like that, and most of them you can explain away, but until the very like once you go into the really crazy voodoo shit,
What are your own?
and it takes a while, and I like it because there's a long build up, you know.
Yeah, there is. And another thing is like what I pointed this out on my reviews of these games as well, was that the thing I really like about these is that they always mention tie it to like real history, so it gives it like an even more like interesting. Like here it gets maybe here towards the end it gets maybe a little hokey. Like, you know, we just take a quick trip to Africa to get the fucking, you know, to get the talisman.
It's okay. Yeah. I mean, you also travel
to Germany at the one point, yeah, but
yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I guess at that point, like Gabriel has the means to do it.
Just tell me.
I am a
really.
Well, but the thing is, what I liked about it is that I really learned about voodoo and hoodoo and all the differences and stuff, and
also with the second game, like with you know,
with Ludwig II.
Yes, and then. And you know, Gabriel 9-3 even more so, and this was before, you know, talk about like the, you know, I don't know how far you're into the game, but like the whole Holy Grail theory about...
Yes, they're talking about the whole...
How it's actually about like Jesus' possible descendants.
Yeah,
and this
just
was
like in...
years before like Da Vinci Code and shit that did that exact same thing, basically.
Exactly, yeah, and that's what I already know it's about Jesus' descendants and hope, because it's like blood of the damned, blood of the sacred, you know, and then already early on you knew, okay, and I already knew, oh, it's gonna be vampires before I even knew anything. It's gonna be vampires, because first one is like voodoo and all the stuff and zombies and everything, and then the second one is like werewolves.
Yeah. Did you know? Have you ever noticed that they actually tease the future Gabriel Knight games in this game? When you're in the Schattenjäger library.
Yeah, with the India, yeah. That you would go to India. I thought that would have been cool. I hope they will still make it.
Not that, but there is like a section on supernatural things, and there's a book on werewolves, there's a book on vampires, and what a lot of fans believe that Gabriel Knight 4 would be about if they had ever made it, because, you know, they closed down the adventure game, the wing of Sierra, during that whole Ascendant scandal business, because, you know, their assets got seized by the FBI and everything, so, and they stopped making adventure games after that. But if Gabriel Knight 4 had ever been made, like many fans believe, it would have had something to do with ghosts, because that's the third book that you find in the same section with the werewolves and the vampires.
It would have been cool, because those are like, you know, one of the you know, that's the thing, is you could have done a lot with ghosts, and I think maybe you could have set it in Scotland or England or something, because there's a lot of ghost stories there.
Tell me.
Okay, I got it. I found out something just now. I heard a jingle.
That's good.
But I'm kind of going. I'm kind of speeding through these because I know there's a lot of info here we need to do, and this is on this day to get it.
It's I listened to it all, and it's really interesting, and I would recommend people, if you want to listen to this and experience it, you know, you can get it on GOG. It's a good game.
Do you know?
But the same with the second game. I mean, how well they researched, because I know, of course, of the Schloss Schwanstein and the Schattenjäger, and not the Schattenjäger, no, that's fictional, but the Ludwig II, and what I liked about it is when you're actually in Schloss Schwanstein, that they actually had it like photographed, and how they built in, and the only thing they changed is in the last chamber there's different paintings,
I
switched it with the wolves, but that's okay, since it is, you know, not the real world, and
obviously.
they needed to have some kind of reference to wolves to make it work with the storyline, and they did it really well. I mean, and it's also with the Lost Wagner Oper. If it felt like it would have been authentic, you know, like everything, and that's what I liked about it, is that you don't see this so often. And the cool thing was, it was one of the first games where I can travel to these locations. And that's why I actually talked to my brother that I want to go to the Schloss Schwanstein and to the other castles, because I want to experience that. And I'm probably gonna make like a photo. I actually had a stupid idea, and I'm not gonna do that because I'm not the kind of guy, but I had this stupid idea that I would dress up as Gabriel Knight and just make photos of the scenery with me in it. But like, I'm not the kind of guy that does this kind of stuff.
You know,
but I would be too embarrassed.
I think I would probably try to do that.
I can see you do it.
Right now, my hair is right around the the correct length that Dean Erickson had, and I do have a jacket that is very similar to the one that he wore in the Gabriel Knight 2. So
I actually had, if I would have any budget for the show, I would try to contact Dean Erickson and maybe, talk him into it to actually, because I think they weren't even on the locations because it's just photos and green screen.
No, it was all like green screen and, shooting in the, at Sierra Valley, where the studio was located, so...
I think it just would have been kind of cool to have him there and then make photos of the locations, maybe in Munich, and because this is a cool thing because the Munich locations I recognized, and it was like one of the first games where it's like in an area where I was and that I'm familiar with, and that's what I really enjoyed in the game. I mean, even the map where you see you can choose between the different areas, like Schloss-Schwanstein, I can find Fürstenfeldbruck on that, and that was like, that's so cool. And so I could go technically almost like to, of course there's no Rittersberg or Schloss Ritter, but hell, I had some ideas with that because it's just a cool idea that they chose a setting that it felt very real, and of course they had some fictional parts in it, but I liked that because it made it work. Like for example, when you're in Rittersberg and you go into the bar, it does feel like a really old style Bavarian bar. I mean, a little bit cheesy, but not. That's pretty much how they are, really. For the most part.
I seen a video of actually Dean Erickson just recently because nowadays he actually writes like self-help books, and that's
I've seen that. Yeah.
So, and he still looks pretty much the same. Like his hairstyle is completely different, but
it's not the '90s anymore. It's 2015. Right?
Yeah.
The mask.
And that was really, I think that was just, he actually really, what I read, because I read about him, and he said that if they would have sticked with the video, with the FMV style tech, he said he would have done, he would have played Gabriel Knight for 5 or 6 games because he liked it so much. And I think a little bit I found something, and an opportunity was lost, but I mean, I think it was easier to make a 3D engine at that point.
Oh yeah, and it was, that was the thing, like FMV, it was like a bit of a phase in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it came and
then eventually people realized, you know what, we can do 3D graphics now, so let's just do that. So
we can do 3D graphics well enough where they look human enough, because that was the thing.
There was the dual problem of the tech for the FMV being so expensive, and also for it to be really difficult to just make like good games with it. So that was the where you would actually, where it was more game than cutscene. Whereas, it tended to be the ratio tended to be the other way around.
What's the significance?
Well, there was a time where that was a legit genre, and it is actually a subgenre adventure game where they call it interactive movie. But in effect, it's a point-and-click adventure, but it's like basically cutscene after cutscene.
This is an infuriating character. This guy who doesn't say anything, doesn't give a straight answer to anything.
Yours, the little old lady.
Like, I didn't know what. I don't know. Maybe there's something else. I tried always to ask him everything, but he's like, I'm not gonna tell you anything, and like.
And eventually you realize that the only thing you need to do with him is you buy the crocodile mask, get that luck oil, and you. Which sounds really disgusting when you think about it. Oil, but you get that luck oil, that luck lotion, and then you give it to the guy who's playing chess.
I think when you say luck lotion, it doesn't make it sound much better.
Yeah, no. Well, whatever the. Well, I don't know what.
It was the luck.
I think he drinks it, so I guess it's.
It was a gambling potion you give to the chess players, which are the chess players are hilarious. I love them. Yeah. Their comments are the best. Okay. And they're just kind of these random characters that they do contribute to the storyline, but they just feel like they've just been put there as like comic relief, really. Cabrice encore.
Oh, there it was, yeah.
Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
I like how
that doesn't sound incriminating at all.
I love how Tim Carey says that.
When you said Cabrice encore.
Caprice encore. I'm not gonna even try because
my
French accent has been bashed so many times. I'm not gonna even try.
I can't read French. I mean, if I tried to speak French, the only thing I can do is like do a really stereotypical like, that's it.
Yes, monsieur. Oh.
Wait, I'm very fast.
Okay, but that lady, you missed the old lady who was in the shop previously, or you did see her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and we have to ask. We do have to ask Grace to research her. And
yeah.
We're gonna go to the hippy dippy ladies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think we have to save the game because again we're out of time. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
That whole scene reminds me like when you go to
must
the
be the one Dr. John
priestess
called
in
me about.
Monkey Island.
I guess so.
Yeah, maybe a little
Wait.
bit, but you know she's even more
Gabriel
like.
Knight.
You know, she's a little bit more like a bimbo than a legit miss.
Yeah, she's just like you know, she's
Dr.
new
John
age,
told me.
crazy.
Yeah,
She
like I
doesn't-
said, she's a hippy dippy lady. So.
yeah, she doesn't know the actual true, but it's.
Well, actually, she does help us a little bit. She helps us like
She does.
decode the writings on the.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the graveyard. That's the thing. I have to show.
Well, we
her
gotta
some
pause
code.
here anyway, so.
Yeah, but oops, sorry, that's the wrong. No. Okay. But that's it for this part. When we come back, we'll talk to this lady. So bye.